Hey, what's up, Aries? Great, Aries, if you still don't mind me calling you that. Welcome back to this timeless general tarot reading. It's been a while since I've managed to drop an Aries video, and I appreciate it because out of all three fire signs, Aries actually seems to respond the best to my videos. Leo and Sagittarius, for some reason, are not inclined to take a look at what I've got to offer. So when I see the Aries rolling in, I like to see that. I really do. Alright, Aries, so a few things off the top. Make sure to check the timestamp below if you would like to skip to relevant parts of the reading. I timestamp times where the cards come out. I also have been timestamping correlations, so if I see the same card, like try to flip out like 2 or 3 times, I've been putting that on the correlation. If there's correlations on the splits, I've been putting that in there. So there's times where there's extra correlation, and that usually evolves the message. Alright, so with that being said, also remember that I assert all disclaimers. The main one is just simply the fact that I am not responsible for you misimparting the truth in this message. If it's meant for somebody else, you've got to make sure that these things are truly meant for you and not meant for someone else. Also, my Facebook has been blowing up with really random friend requests, and a lot of people like reaching out trying to like get me to like join the Illuminati and like give me offers of money and stuff, and it's all basically been bullcrap. So just be wary that the scammers are out and about. They are in full swing apparently right now, and make sure that you do not get abused by somebody pretending to be me. All of the relevant information for anything I would ever ask of you or request of you will be in my video descriptions or in some kind of official page of my own. You will be able to check the links below for anything like that, or there will be just some kind of clear way to make sure that you're not getting cheated. So make sure that you only run through my official channels. Make sure that you definitely keep your guard up right now because the scammers are in full force. Alright, so with that, you had a card revealing itself here, and that is the 8 of Pentacles. That's not a bad start for your energy. And I apologize about this camera. Ever since I got this new fabric, it makes the color a little janky until like 2 cards come out. Like if I put this card down, it readjusts, so it usually just takes a second to get the card to come out. So this is pretty straightforward here. It's a sign of prudence, sign of diligence, a sign of consistency in your work ethic. And that work ethic is yielding you not just 8 pentacles in this instance, but the craftsmanship is decent. So it's a very simple sign of diligence and prudence, hard work speaking for itself to a certain extent. And not sure what kind of clarifications will come out here, but it's pretty straightforward. It's a decent card to have. It shows that you're working hard and that you're not necessarily cutting corners. Okay, so now we've got this coming out here for you. No fire energy yet. You're going to... There's an inclination here that due to your success, you are feeling very well. You're feeling very good about it. You are excited about where you are. You're pleased with your status, so to speak. You are happy. This card is technically called the Lord of Pleasure. So it's not just about physical pleasure, but it's about that feeling of excitement and novelty. And following up the 8 of Pentacles, it's a good sign that you are going to be enjoying the fruits of your labors. Following that, though, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is in the reverse energy. It can signify somebody who is an individual who, they have a bad tendency of like shutting other people down who can succeed like they do. They are like, another card flip note here, Five of Wands. This is kind of becoming interesting. This is the first fire energy of the whole reading. There's just the symbolism here from this Queen of Pentacles that whomever this energy is referring to, whatever this energy is referring to, they have a tendency to not exactly allow others to thrive in the same ways they can thrive. So even though they're a Queen of Pentacles and they have sort of that material abundance, they like to shut other people down. It's kind of a defense mechanism. It's like an emotional thing. They can be insecure about other people achieving to the same heights as them, so they have a bad knack of like shutting down other people. Is a huge part of what this is suggesting here. And it's a very disappointing energy if that is you, because with this material success and this happiness, the fact that you would have to do that to anybody else is disappointing. It's also not an Aries energy. It's a Earth energy. Jeez. So this is very interesting. We've got this idea that there's this work ethic, this prudence, this diligence that's paid off. The craftsmanship is good. The material elements are good. There's even an element of enjoying life, of having pleasure from being able to have this capacity. But then we're running into this notion that this individual is not exactly allowing other people to share in that abundance. And they are the easiest way to say it is they're shutting down other people from achieving in the same ways that they're achieving. So I'm not sure if this is you or somebody else, but like it's disappointing that this person can be this diligent and be this happy, but then like be afraid at the same time. It's a very interesting dilemma. And we've got, so we just had the Judgment card and the World card flip out, but kind of running out of spaces here. Let's see if they want to flip out again. So we're looking at, it's just very strange because now we've got this Queen of Swords in the upright, which is it's someone who can deliberate quite well, typically speaking. Once again, not your energy, it's wind energy, air energy. What's interesting about this Queen of Swords, though, is they've got their back turned to this Queen of Pentacles. And due to that fact, they're disappointed in this, whomever this Queen of Pentacles is. This Queen of Swords in the upright energy is more likely to embrace the quality of others and not shut them down to that same extent. And that's leading to this Five of Wands conflict here, where there's like some kind of workspace disruption or some kind of confliction for the necessity of growing out of that issue. So it's almost like the Queen of Swords starts to kind of stir the pot a little bit and may challenge this Queen of Pentacles on how she does things. And unfortunately, this ends in the Five of Pentacles, which is a sign of destitution, sort of a sign of abandonment. It is definitely a sign of being kicked to the curb after this Five of Wands confliction. So this is definitely it's an interesting warning to not. Dang, right then I got the Nine of Wands reversed. To basically not be like this. You don't want to be stuck blaming everything for why you're stuck, which is something I can sympathize with when it doesn't feel like, when I don't understand how to necessarily channel a law of attraction in my own existence very well. Even though I can see it in the cards, and I can definitely point it out in the cards, sometimes the cards just have that message very clearly, that it has to do with energy being blocked and all that stuff, but with the Nine of Wands coming out here, like, Dang, we just had Aries shop out. So I'm wondering how I should stack these cards here. So this is interesting because this is the first time that anybody has showed up. So perhaps, or this is the first time that Aries has showed up in particular. And that's very good to see in your reading. So we've got the Emperor showing up here. We've got a reverse Nine of Wands though. And if I'm going to keep clarifying it in this particular instance, it is as if this, whatever this like workspace conflict is, here we have another card, let's come out. Four of Pentacles, the Lord of Earthly Power. Another Pentacle energy. Clarifying the Queen of Swords though. So, where was I? So what I'm seeing here is like, even though this Queen of Pentacles has diligence, prudence, work ethic, and the capacity to like enjoy the fruits of their labors, they're in this energy where they may be afraid to allow other people to rise to their greatest heights. And there is another individual that is not very fond of that, and they are looking to just kind of stir up the pot, so to speak, and it's going to lead to a instance of conflict for the sake of growth in this particular situation. And that is going to leave somebody out in the cold, which I'm assuming is this Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles isn't embracing everybody properly. And the Queen of Swords is also the individual who has the capacity to actually delegate, or not, maybe not delegate, but they have the ability to kind of calm the waters through this Five of Swords confliction. It's not like it's going to be, or Five of Wands confliction, it's not like it's going to be pure chaos. It's, the Queen of Swords actually has, it's almost looking like, okay, so unfortunately the way I'm seeing this now is that even though this Queen of Pentacles has a great work ethic and has their own internal optimism in their own ways, they aren't proving the same leadership capacities as this Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords is showing that they have the capacity to smooth over these issues differently. And there's a good shot here that the Queen of Pentacles, despite all of their material effort, is not the one who is going to be relied upon to deal with this leadership. And it's very simple, they just aren't embracing their people properly. Another 5, 5, 5, 5 here. And the Queen of Pentacles, it looks like they are going to be kind of stuck in the fact that, and this is very interesting that this is coming out like this because it's kind of resonating with myself, and a lot of the readings have been resonating with myself. And I'm not like I'm not an Aries, I'm a Capricorn, but the last couple of readings have had like messages where I could sympathize with the struggle from my own capacity. So I can kind of understand where this Queen of Pentacles is coming from. They put in all this work, and they have legitimate like capabilities, and they've even attained great power, which is what the Nine of Wands represents. But in the reverse, they're stuck. They're stuck focusing on why they're stuck, kind of, is like sort of what's going on there. And that's something that they might get, it's something that's not going to help them overcome this destitution of feeling left out in the cold, is more of this energy, negative energy. But it's very interesting because then all of a sudden we have this Emperor showing up, Aries, which is the Aries energy. So, and that as a symbolism, the queens are, you know, these two queens, well, the Queen of Pentacles actually like to rank above the King of Pentacles because the Queen of Pentacles is the queen of feminine energy, the earth energy. So she's the more natural bearer of earth energy, which puts her, in my opinion, only a step below the Empress, necessarily. She's the more powerful queen in that regard, matched maybe with the Queen of Cups. That's my own personal take, though. Either way, the Emperor, Aries energy, is showing up here. And it's kind of clarifying this Five of Wands. So the idea is that this Emperor is, in fact, on board with this Queen of Swords being in charge of sorting out this dilemma, whatever this dilemma is. And that Queen of Swords is even getting empowered here by the Four of Pentacles, which is, it can be a sign of spendthrift, or not spendthrift, a miser. It can be a sign of actually the opposite of a spendthrift. It can be the symbol of somebody who is like very anxious about losing anything. But I've actually gotten a much better idea of what this card is, and it has a much... the better read on it is that this person is grounded. They're grounded with these pentacles. 2 feet upon the earth, 2 of the pentacles are on the earth. They've got a good hold on the 3rd pentacle. So the idea is that they're grounded in this energy. They are a couple steps beyond just 2 pentacles or 3 pentacles. They're actually getting in the flow of what that's like. So it bodes well for the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is finding that capacity. And unfortunately, we've got the Queen of Pentacles stuck on the 5 of Cups reversed, which is like, that's like exactly the opposite of the 6 of Cups, basically. The 6 of Cups is about being able to... Sorry, it's kind of skipping my brain here. The 6 of Cups is about pleasure, is the word. The Lord of Pleasure is how it's described, but it is about being able to enjoy, very specifically. The larger kid isn't just handing the smaller kid a cup, they're playing in this instance. They're like enjoying playing with the cup. It's not just... she's not just handing her this cup. It's they're like getting something extra out of it, like kids can get. They're on a different resonance. And the 5 of Cups reversed is like a sign of stagnation, of losing that pleasure. So I'm curious what kind of clarifications can come out for these last 2 cards, because it's just like, it's like a very strange reading for this Aries, because if the Aries is this Emperor, if you're this Emperor, a lot of this energy is like not even about you. But if you're an Emperor, you might be annoyed that you're dealing with this conflict in your workplace. And this might kind of clear up the energies involved and where the success is at. You know, if like maybe you have to promote somebody or something like that. And that's unfortunate, because the person who like works really hard but doesn't understand they don't have like the leadership skills might feel like their hard work and effort isn't paying off if they're not getting promoted, or if they're not being trusted with more delegation or something. So like, it would be very interesting to know who actually is watching this read and who this read is for, because it's an interesting dilemma here. I'm going to try and get 2 more clarifiers here out of this. I'm considering if I flip-flopped the energy, what it would look like. I don't feel like it would be the same way. So I'm going to try and get 2 more clarifiers here. It is very disappointing. It's not a sign that this Queen of Pentacles is going to take it very well. They're at risk of like feeling left out in the cold. They're gonna kind of get stuck wondering why the heck all of their power and skills go unrewarded like they would like to see. And since they're a Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like it's because of they're not the right fit for the thing based off their raw leadership capacity. The Queen of Swords is an energy that is much more naturally suited to dealing with this workspace confliction, whereas the Queen of Pentacles is just going to like keep everybody down, and they're never going to grow and deal with it and become stronger, which is what this Emperor is going to need. And the Queen of Swords is even showing some energy here that they're going to be grounding themselves in Earth energy anyway. So they're almost going to be like embodying some of the qualities of the Queen of Pentacles regardless. And it's the Queen of Pentacles who's getting stuck in this, stuck in all this like negative energy, blocked inside of themselves, regardless of their talents. They're going to feel like they've been left out in the cold, which they might be, not literally but figuratively, in terms of maybe they weren't invited to like the meeting or something, and you know what I mean, like whatever the scenario plays out as, they're going to feel like they're left out. And then with the Five of Cups reversed, they're not even going to like, they're going to like lose all of the Six of Cups happiness. They're going to feel like it wasn't real or something like that. Like they're not going to be able to embrace this happiness the same way after all of this is essentially what's going on here. That's very disappointing because they have so much potential. So I'm going to see if I can clarify anything else on this Six of Cups. And as soon as I say that, a little something comes out here. So let's see what we got. Page of Wands. So that's the energy. It's another fire energy. Another wand energy. It has to do with action. It's an energy of somebody who, like, they don't even care what the action is. They're just inspired to take action. Sometimes it can be ambitious. Sometimes it can be aggressive. Sometimes it can be nice. Sometimes it can be mean. It isn't really their prerogative necessarily, but instead they're pouring out their internal fire, their internal primal force in the form of action. And it's just very natural for this type of individual to, it's very natural for them to rely on action. Very, like, the idea of not having action is not in their prerogative since they're a fire sign. Fire's energy is for action and for force, and therefore that's why they have that capacity to act out like that. It's in the upright though, so it's not a sign that they're going to be necessarily toxic about it, which is good. Even though they can be kind of fierce in speaking their mind off the top, even if it's rough to a certain extent. It's the nature of this energy. They're very, very action oriented is the bottom line. And it makes a little bit more sense if you can kind of understand how the primal force of the wands is about action. The idea that and here's one more card, so we're going to take this, the Ace of Wands reversed though. Yep, that came out in reverse. So this is very weird. I mean, yeah, I can. My heart goes out for this Queen of Pentacles. They are just stuck. They're gonna be like stuck in very sorrowful energy. And as I was trying to explain the Page of Wands, we get the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is it's known as the root of the source of fire, the root of primal fire. It actually is connotated by the Hebrew word yod, which stands for primal force. So exactly what I was describing was I was thinking about this Ace of Wands the whole time. It's the source of that primal force, and it's the root of that energy of action that must act, that must be, as long as it is real in the universe. The idea of non-action, non-vibrance is very alien to it. So this Page of Wands, empowered by that energy, is inclined to act out in those fashions. So they might not guard their tongue well, they might not be very diplomatic, they're just going to act, they like to act, they prefer to act. It's more natural to their energy. The problem is now we got this Ace of Wands here, and the Ace of Wands in reverse is unfortunately like that desire, the desire of that energy not manifesting. It's essentially like, it's disappointment, it is desire not being fulfilled, because the energy is just a sign that the energy isn't going to manifest properly. So it's very disappointing because we've had this Queen of Pentacles really down on their energy, and maybe this Page of Wands like tries to bring them back into tries to remind them of how they could enjoy life before this point. But there's a sign here that it's actually going to blunt. The Queen of Pentacles is stuck very blunted. And it's kind of suggesting here that it's even going to break their work ethic. Like, they're going to be like, they're going to be depressed. Like, I guess I'll use the word depressed. To a certain extent, they're going to be like, their energy is not going to be there to succeed like this anymore. That's unfortunately what I'm getting here. Even though they tried to get pep, very likely like somebody tried to pep talk them. This Page of Wands. The page surrounded by these energies is funky though, because the page is actually surrounded by 2 cards of water, and water diminishes fire. So like this Page of Wands may typically be really good at this, but like all of this emotionality is like going to throw off their energy in this instance. So they might not even put their best foot forward, even with their best intentions to help this Queen of Pentacles out. This Queen of Pentacles is definitely stuck in this energy. They don't understand why. They've got this internal fear of being out-achieved by their subordinates. And essentially the thing that keeps coming to mind is that they are, if they're in a leadership position, there's a good shot they're going to be like, there's a good shot they're just going to keep everybody down so nobody can be better than them, is very specifically what this queen is like. It's like the big weakness of the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And that is very disappointing. Interesting card trying to come out here, 10 of Cups. This is what everybody wants in the end of the day, is this kind of energy. But like, it's these upright individuals that are going to find this. It's the Queen of Pentacles who's losing it. Because they are stuck about this, whatever this mentalism is, they're stuck. Despite the other people around them trying to deal with the situation, it's like their own personal energies are mixed. Except for this instance, before whatever this situation goes down, they had it going for them. But this leadership, this lack of leadership capacity, and being outshone by this Queen of Swords, it's really gonna throw them around. Are the signs here. So I don't know if you know exactly what this is, Emperor, the great Aries, the Emperor, but I'm actually going to conclude this reading because I think I can. I'm going to conclude this and try to kind of end it on a high note here. So let's see what we've got. There is an instance where this Emperor is delegating to individuals, except for whomever they've trusted with this leadership they have a leadership character flaw. And that leadership character flaw seems to be the fact that they have trouble allowing others around them to excel and that's very likely due to some internal, I'm not managing to grasp the word exactly, internal insecurities. Due to some internal insecurities, they allow themselves to thrive, but they've got trouble letting other people around them thrive. And I'm not getting much clarity as to specifically why that is, but that is the clue coming out here, is that they are acting in that fashion. There's even a good sign here that whomever this Queen of Pentacles is, they actually do have good craftsmanship. They do put in hard work and diligence and have prudence. The issue is that when it comes to leadership, they aren't very good at empowering their individuals. And it looks like this Emperor is keen to that fact, so they are recognizing that there is somebody else who is better suited for that. And that individual, this Queen of Swords, who is in the upright energy here, they have the capacity to be very diplomatic when it comes to dealing with this workspace conflict and this requirement of workspace growth. So even though there's like a path of confliction on the way to get through this growing phase, this Queen of Swords is actually the exact right person for the job, because this energy tends to have the capacity to kind of balance all of the interests and really get to solid diplomatic solutions. The issue is, upon this Queen of Pentacles realizing that this has happened, they are going to feel left out in the cold. They're going to feel like they have fallen into destitution, and they're going to really be wondering why the heck all of their effort has got them in this position. They were under the impression that their work ethic and their results were supposed to provide them with these opportunities in life, but despite their power achieved, they're finding themselves really trapped in their mind about the situation, and it's spiraling them out of control. Oh, I shouldn't say it's spiraling them out of control, but it's got them trapped, not grasping and finding the path forward anymore. They're just kind of stuck ruminating on the issue itself, and it's keeping them stuck in the problem. It's like a very classic law of attraction thing that's going on there. It's very disappointing because this Emperor isn't showing any signs of toxicity, so it's not like this Emperor is not respecting the reality of the situation. The Emperor, in this instance, if that's you, kudos to you, because it shows like you're showing up in positive energy here. And you're seeing the capacity in this Queen of Swords to deal with this, and you're understanding what's going on here. But it's just this Queen of Pentacles is stuck, and they're really going to get bent out of shape about this. And there's even this call that somebody is even going to try and pep talk them, but like even their effects, which are very possibly usually effective, it's going to stall. It's going to burn out. And that might even burn out this Queen of Pentacles' ability to achieve things. So like even though the Emperor might have to promote this other individual, the Queen of Swords, to deal with this problem, this Queen of Pentacles isn't just going to take it on the chin and move on from the situation. They are so screwed up by this for whatever reason. They feel like they're in destitution. They've found themselves trapped in like very static mentalism that is not acknowledging their proper path forward. They're finding it hard to enjoy themselves in the same way that they used to be able to. And there's even a sign here that it's going to diminish their work ethic. So it's not even that you're losing them in terms of their interest, like their social capacity, like their actual work ethic is going to diminish. That's very disappointing. I don't know exactly what to do here. The Queen of Pentacles, the only thing here in terms of a solution is this Queen of Pentacles has got to open their heart up. And they've got to get over that fear of letting other people's excel like them. It's like a I shouldn't say kindergarten teacher, but the first thing that came to mind was it's like a kindergarten teacher who like is always like, I don't actually have a good way to go with that. I'm trying to think of a better analogy. That was what came to mind first, and it was almost correct, but I don't have the words. I mean, the archetype is somebody who shuts down others, but then they will go and do the exact same behaviors that they just shut down. So somebody who doesn't let anybody else shine like them is really what's coming up here. And this Queen of Swords is even in this particular drop, like looking away from this Queen of Pentacles. Like they're like, I don't want to deal with this, with what you're up to here. So I feel bad for this Queen of Pentacles, and I don't think that's you. It could be. You're showing up as the Emperor, but perhaps somebody watching this is the Emperor and somebody watching this is the Queen of Pentacles. Perhaps somebody watching this is the Queen of Swords. So I'm not sure who's watching. Maybe somebody watching this is the Page of Wands. The only real way to pull this up is, and it's not even showing that that's going to happen very easily. This Queen of Pentacles has really got to change something inside of themselves. And sometimes that's like the last thing we're ever supposed to expect from anybody. So if you're the Emperor here, if you're this authority figure dealing with this situation, you'll have success with this Queen of Swords, but the price is this Queen of Pentacles if you can't figure out a creative way to open their heart up, which maybe that's beyond your purview. But if they can't open their heart up, you're going to lose somebody who can produce very well. And you're going to lose somebody who you thought maybe was a little more stable than is going to be revealed. And it's just really it's really showing like they're going to be screwed up over this. That's all I can really suggest here. But they've got to get over that fact that they might just be shutting down other people. I don't know exactly how you are supposed to deal with that. I don't have more specifics here. So I think that's all I've got for you, Aries. This is an interesting reading. It's disappointing to see. It's disappointing to feel. Maybe not for you if you're this Emperor. You've got to deal with multiple things here. If you're this Queen of Pentacles, or if you're dealing with this Queen of Pentacles, you might as well at least try to get their heart open in terms of seeing why, don't beat around the bush as to why this Queen of Swords made this happen. It's because they were allowed other people to be empowered. And that's, you've got to, maybe if you can stick that truth to this Queen of Pentacles, they can see the difference and they can turn all this energy around for themselves, because they still have the potential to be a great asset here. That's exactly what the Emperor needs. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching this reading, and good luck, Aries.